Yes, your boy G, Cutman Boxing. We're here live with my man, Mr. Jacob Stitch Duran. First of all, thank you for your time. So how you feel today, man?
I'm doing good, Andres. Thanks for the invitation here, man. It's always good to come back to the garden. You know, whenever you're doing the garden, you know you're doing something right.
Absolutely. You're a legend yourself, man. One of the number one Cutman in the game. I would probably say number one, man. You've been around so many years. You're working now for Triple G's corner? Or?
Yeah, it's nice. You know, they brought Jonathan Banks in, and Jonathan used to train Vladimir Klitschko, of course. And, you know, I worked with Klitschko for 12 years.
Right.
So when Jonathan came on board, he said, you know, I want the best team available for Triple G. And being that we've worked together so many years, he brought me on board, so this is my first time with Triple G. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Back in the garden, man.
Back in the garden.
Really quick, what can we ask you? What got you into the sport of boxing, and what got you that route as far as Cutman?
That's a good question, Andres. You know, 1974, I grew up as a farm worker in the Central Valley of California. Pura raza, puro mexicano,
right?
And I wanted to get out. I always wanted to play professional baseball. Roberto Clemente was my idol.
Wow,
and,
yeah.
you know, didn't have money to go to school, so I joined the Air Force. And in 1974, they stationed me in Thailand, and there I studied the Muay Thai system, and that's what got me going. And I opened up my own school of kickboxing, which is crazy, with a credit card, showing how crazy I was. But I had a passion, and I moved to Las Vegas 23 years ago from California, just to follow my dreams. And here I am at the garden. But, you know, I wrote a book. It's called From the Fields to the Garden, because I grew up as a farm worker, so those were the fields. But my goal was always to make it to Madison Square Garden, and here I am.
Were you always in the corner, or were you a fighter at first?
Yeah, well, you know, I did some kickboxing, you know, before, and but kickboxing was just getting started. I had a corporate America job, 8 to 5, so, you know, I was happy doing that. But like I say, I opened up my own gym and trained fighters. So, you know, I've been through all elements. And learning to be a Cutman was one of the things I had to learn to do for economic reasons. But being a Cutman kind of floated to the top. And when I moved to Vegas, I didn't go to be a trainer, but I saw guys training fighters, and they brought me on board to, you know, do pads for fighters and all that. So I've had a great history.
Absolutely. What kind of advice would you have for younger people, maybe with dreams of being Cutman or anything in this field of boxing?
You know, that's a good question. Again, you ask good questions.
Thank you so much.
But, you know, I get questions all the time. I get doctors, paramedics, nurses, EMTs, fans, just everybody wants to be a Cutman because they see what I do, right? But I tell them, look, you got to spend hours and days and weeks and months in the year. It just, you know, doing what fighters do, training like a fighter, getting into the mind of the fighter,
and
you start donating your time and wrapping hands. You get their confidence level. Then hopefully they'll bring you in to work a corner. But if you go to cutmanforhiresupplies.com, I put out a video called "Giving the Fighters One More Round," because in the old days when I was learning to be a Cutman, I asked this guy what he did. He did a good job, and he kind of blew me off. And
I read about that.
Yeah, you know, F you. He says, I'm taking this to my grave, and you got to learn like me. And at that point, that kind of just solidified what I've always wanted to do, is teach. So I teach.
Absolutely. You do a tremendous job at what you do, man. Is there anywhere we can find you on social media or anything?
Yeah, at Stitch Duran. You know, pretty easy.
All right. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody, or any gyms or anything?
Andres, you're a good man.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your information, and we wish you the best on Saturday night for you, your team, and your family. Thank you so much, sir. Muchas gracias.